Okay, let's work our way over for number 10. Again, let's use the digit by digit method that we've been practicing doing this, and then we'll try some other methods in a future lesson. So for number 10, what I'd like you to do is please write out the problem with the digits spaced out on your whiteboard. You're going to have to leave some room at the top of your whiteboard and, of course, at the bottom of your whiteboard for all the work that we're going to be doing right now. So the problem is 6,747 divided by 7. Does your whiteboard look like mine? Great. We're going to be checking in just a little bit to see that you are following along. So first step is we're going to, of course, be dividing. And this is where some students have trouble with, is where do I even begin? Well, where you begin is you're looking at your dividend and you're starting all the way on the left. And again, we're going digit by digit, seeing how many times can 7 go into each of these digits. So what I'd like you to do for dividend, we always start all the way to the left and we underline the first digit, and you're asking yourself, in this case, can 7 go into 6? So underline the 6. Can 7 go into 6? So 7 times something equals, can it equal anything less than 6 for this case? So 7 times 1 is 7. That's too much. So it would be 7 times 0. And again, you could put a 0 or you could put an X, or you can leave it blank. I'll put an X right there above the 6. We cannot form a group of 7 out of 6. So that means we need to keep on going to the next digit. So with our line, we're going to continue on and we're going to go to the next digit, which is 7. And now we have the number 67 underlined. Does yours look like mine? Great job. We're asking ourselves, how many times can 7 go into 67 without going over? We want to get as close as we can without going over. 7 times 5 is 35. That's too small, so we need to keep on working our way up. What do you think? So we had to keep on going up and up and up all the way to 9. 9 times 7 is 63. That's close to 67 without going over. So in our hundred space, in our quotient right above the 7, we're going to put a digit 9. And your place values and the places what you put your digits for these problems are super important. So now we have 9 times 7 is equal to, we already said it, is 63. That brings us to our next step, which is multiply. And where we put the 63, we put it digit by digit underneath 67. So the 6 goes underneath the 6, and the 3 goes underneath the 7. We divided, we multiplied. Next step is subtract. 67 minus 63 is equal to 4. So please put a 4 in your answer. Next step is check. Is 4 less than 7? It is, so we're on the right track. That means we can move on to the next step. We can bring down. Again, just one digit at a time. I'm looking at our dividend. The next digit over is the 4. I'm going to draw an arrow down, bring down the 4. And now we have the number 44, and we start all over again. How many times can 7 go into 44 now without going over? 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. That's too much. So it's 7 times 6. So we're going to put a 6 in our 10 spot right above the 4 in our quotient. And we just divided. Our next step is to multiply. 6 times 7 is 42. 42 goes underneath 44 with our place values all lined up correctly so that we can easily subtract. What's 44 minus 42? 2. So go ahead and put 2 as your answer. Next step is check. Is 2 less than 7? It is. We're on the right track. Next step is bring down. We look at our dividend. The next digit now is 7. Draw an arrow all the way down. Bring that 7 down to form the number 27. How many times does 7 go into 27, boys and girls? So I'm thinking 7 times what gets me something close to 27 without going over? Well, 7 times 5 is 35. That's too much, so we got to work our way down. 7 goes into 27 3 times without going over. So we're going to put a 3 in our 1 spot in our quotient. We just divided. Next step is multiply. 3 times 7 is 21. Next step is to subtract. 27 minus 21 gives us 6. Next step is to check. Is 6 less than 7? It is, so we can't form any other groups. Next step is to bring down. There's nothing else to bring down. So that means we reached the end of our long division problem. The instruction says give each answer with the remainder. So 6 here, since there's nothing else to bring down, is in fact a remainder. We're going to go up to our quotient. We're going to put an R for remainder. And our answer of our quotient is 963 R6. Please keep that on your whiteboard, display it to your teacher in just a moment, and then we're going to transfer that into our book. That's the quotient for number 10, and we'll get some more practice in just a moment.